Namaste and welcome to this exciting episode of my Sunday Live. This is live and no edited, nothing is everything is live. Welcome to this Sunday show, Sattology debunking mythology. Sattology means science of truth, study of truth. Opposite to that is mythology, which is science or study of fake, lie, or imagination. Everybody can use the word Sattology, and if you want to take permission for commercial products, then I must, you can write to us at sattology@sattology.org, and there I'll respond and with all the permissions that is needed for this show. So today we are going to talk about the Vedas and the origin of Vedas and Puran. And you can ask me any questions on that. It's going to be a very detailed show and I'm not going to do it again. So you watch this show completely. I've covered all these topics in my books, so you can refer to them for reference material. And before I start off, very easy to get my books. Go to amazon.com, search Sattology, you'll see all my books. You can also go to Barnes and Nobles in the US, you can search all my books, and also you can search Sattology there or my name. And if you also go to kapoth.in in India, you can get two of my books, and my other books are gradually coming from all the major publishers in India. So let's begin the show. And I will also show you towards the end of the video what areas I'm referring to in this show, and areas in the sense regions where these scriptures were written. Now, first of all, you have to understand, let us go back to Mahabharata and Purana, because the if you look at the major Vedas, in if you there are certain references there which are very clear, which are mentioned in the Vedas themselves. Most of this information is mentioned in the Vedas themselves. So the four principles. So in the if you look at the after Shukdev Goswami instructed Parikshit, and Parikshit goes back. And the Sut Goswami, you need to know, he's a disciple of Shukdev Goswami. So Sut Goswami is very close to Shukdev Goswami, and both are sannyasis because they both did not enter into the married order of life. Mahadevi Puran mentions that Shukdev Goswami did enter married order of life, but that is from a different perspective, that he temporarily entered the garden of Janak Maharaj and then he left. So coming back to these great personalities, so in the if you look at the origin of Veda, now a lot of controversies there. Some people who do not know about Vedas, like we also heard some so-called seva organizations, or the people who have no connection with parampara talking that nobody knows who wrote the Veda. So for them, I'm going to answer this with many shlokas today, which you will like it. So here the information is Sut Vacha. It says Samahitatmano Brahmana Parameshtina Hyat Kashad Bhutadno Vritti Rodad Vibhachate. So what it means is that the Vedas first appeared from Brahma, uh, and who actually got it from Bhagwan Vishnu, and then he actually experienced these Vedas within his heart. And then the Vedas were then given by Brahma, and the vibration that he heard was composed of Om. Like the Om is what he heard, is the actually is Tato Abad Trivrid Omkaro, Tivrid Omkaro, A U Ama, Yo Avyakta Prabhava Sorat, Yat Tat Lingam Bhagavato Brahmana Paramatmana. So Om represents Paramatma or Vishnu, very, very emphatically told in Bhagavad Gita as well as Veda. Now, if you go back to the history, so this is the beginning of the Veda descending to the earth. Now, most this sound, so when people say everything is sound, there was no person, totally incorrect. It is the Vishnu who inspired. How can you produce a sound if you don't have organs, right? If I don't have anything, like, can you even air, wind, when wind strikes something, then it produces a sound. And the water, when it strikes something, there is an obstruction, then it produces a sound. So sound cannot come just, there has to be somebody saying it, somebody's actually telling it. So people who say that just suddenly the sound appeared, totally incorrect, logically not possible, scientifically not possible. Sound needs the obstruction of the air. Somebody can hear, that means there is something which is hearing, someone which is speaking. Very logical. So you people who say that sound just came, not possible, somebody is making the sound. So very clearly it is vyakta. Now the omkara is got tasya hi asamso trayo varna akaradya bhrigudva dharyante yes trayo bhava guno namartha vrittaya. So very easy. So this, the bhur bhuva swah, is the three planetary systems, and the three functional, three the actions are the atman, nidra, and deep nidra, like the which is, like we say, these are the three qualities of the state of consciousness, one is atman, which is jagrat. One is guna namartha vrittaya. Vrittaya are five types: praman, vikalpa, viparyayo, smriti, nidra. These are the five vritti. Yogas chitti vritti nirodhascha. So you have, many of you have read my book, Transcending the Mind, in which I have translated Yoga Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and I have translated because I can understand Sanskrit. Not that I have been gone through a course of Sanskrit. I've studied basic Sanskrit till 10th grade, but after that I learned by reading this Shastra again and again, and also under a guru, which is, without a guru kripa, I won't be doing this session today. So this is the background. And now, from those sounds, Brahma, see, all the devatas in this world which you see, they come through Brahma. It's not that they were not existing before, they were existing before. But in this world of our experience, it comes through Brahma. Like all the, even the avatars, Vishnu can come independent of Brahma, but Brahma invites him specifically for a particular task. So from one of the descendants, he takes appearance on the world. Like for example, Krishna appeared through Devaki and through Vasudev, and Bhagwan Ram appeared through. It doesn't mean that Bhagwan Ram is not Bhagwan; he's Bhagwan. But in this world of three guna, Bhagwan, when he comes down, he doesn't become part of it, but he appears to our eyes as coming through them. Doesn't part of it. Like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 9.11, that those who think of him to be a human or manushya, they are deluded. He says in 9.1 Bhagavad Gita, you can read it. I'm giving the numbers, I can quote the shloka, but I'm giving you the numbers so you can read it yourself. Now, coming to next to the point. So we know that tatokshara samanyayam asriya bhagavan aja atastoshma swara apsharsha braswa dirgadi lakshanam. So which means he created from om, he created all the different consonants, vowels, utsrijat bhagavan aja, say tatokshara samamnayam, samamnayam, and it is antatoshma swara sparsha. So sound is being created, which is, the sound means vowels, consonants, semi-vowels. Semi-vowels concept is not there in the Western language, therefore it is incomplete. Only Sanskrit has semi-vowels. Sibilants and others, like sibilants means on the top of the tongue, s- below the tongue, the sound, different sounds which different people can create, even animals can create. And short and long measure. Hrisva dirgadi lakshanam. Hrisva means long, short, and dirgadi means long. Only in Sanskrit. All these sounds are available. Therefore, Devanagari is the most complete form of writing where every sound can be produced, and Sanskrit has every single sound. Not no sound is excluding the Sanskrit, and the Devanagari is a perfect way to write is phonetic, putting the phonetics on the paper. Okay, so now sounds are created. Now Brahma created uh, the four Veda from his four faces, which you all know. And also, he created the Omkara, brought the Omkara down, which he heard, he put it down. Seven Vyariti. Vyariti means to actually perform the different types of yajna. Yajna means karma, yajna karma samudbhava. And karma for the relieving oneself from the cycle of birth, old age, disease, death, and also different stages of life while the body is there. Okay, that is karma. And so all the yajna are performed to get out of that karma cycle. Now, and then he also taught his own sons. Brahma taught his own sons, and you can say the first man created for the in this planet is on the beginning of the day of Brahma is Manu, and his wife Shatarupa is the first woman. And it is common. These are common knowledges across all Purana. Whatever I'm telling you is common, and I have researched it well. In I've studied all the different references I put in my books, and I'm presenting you common knowledge, which is not like some people may have slightly different version, but I'm presenting you the common one, the base one, base information. This information doesn't change in any of the Veda, Mahabharata, Puran, Ramayana, nowhere else. Ramayana doesn't deal with the writing of the Vedas because it is written in Treta Yuga. Treta Yuga still it was an oral tradition. And someone was telling me a couple of days back, and we also tweeted it on from our Twitter channel also. Somebody said nobody knows who wrote Vedas. No, that is not true. Even Bhagwan Ram's Putreshti Yajna was done using Atharva Veda mantra. So that means Atharva Veda was written down also during that time, but not on a mass scale like today. That was possible only after Vyasdev. That was the purpose of his appearance. So, in the present age of Vaivasat Manu, currently the Manu is Vaivaswat. That was you see in Bhagavad Gita. Imam Vaivaswan, Imam Vaivasate, Bhagavan says that Ikshwak Manur, Ikshwaku Abravit. That he says that today the Vaivaswan Manu is ruling the world, and Ikshwaku Manue Ikshwaku Praha. So from Vaivaswan came to Manu, Manu told it to Ikshwaku. So first man is Manu, first woman is Shatrupa, created by Brahma, and so that the other offsprings can come in. And before that, Kardam Muni and other rishis are there. They are not considered human; they are considered Deva rishis. Way before that, and so therefore, officially the man is recognized as Manu, and therefore the word comes Manushya, and the woman is Shatrupa, and therefore we also say Shri, where women represents wealth. So, and then she also represents Lakshmi. There's a name of Lakshmi, but generally Shatrupa is the first woman. Now, then Brahma taught to his own sons, and he taught them. Now we are still at the Brahma level, forehead. He is Brahma for this world, and then all of them transferred through disciplic succession, parampara system to everyone. Therefore, it is extremely important to get connected to any parampara you like. It doesn't matter which one you like, anyone you like, and parampara system, and learn under a proper system. Because most of this Vedic knowledge information will not come be revealed to you in the practical aspect, means how to follow it based on the YouTube videos or somewhere else, even our YouTube show. We can only give you certain information which you are allowed to give, not all the information. Certain information you have to experience. So now coming back to the and Manda Sumanda Mateo Mand Bhagyat Upadruta. So at the end of each Dwapar Yuga, every Dwapar Yuga, it's not just one, every Dwapar Yuga, ते परंपरा प्राप्तास तत्त शिष्य दृढ़व्रत Chatur atha vyasta dwaparado maharshivi. Every Dwapar Yuga, not just this Dwapar Yuga, every Dwapar Yuga. That means in a Manvantar, there are 14 Manvantars in a day. Each Manvantar has approximately 71 or 72 Yuga. So that means each Dwapar Yuga, these scriptures are again written down. So they get lost after the end of Kali Yuga, and every Satyuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, the oral tradition continues. And the end of the Dwapar Yuga is written down because then people in Kali Yuga have amazing qualities. Manda sumanda matyo manda bhagyad upadruta. Our intelligence is less, our memory power is less, and we are not so as intelligent as people from Dwapar or other Yuga. Therefore, you will see people are astonished how pyramids are built. We have done many shows on that. How people establish, how find the country, because they had higher technology, higher intelligence. And we say, oh, we are going to get to there. No, you will never get to that. Not possible. So, but I don't want to say it, I don't demean anyone. There are a lot of scientists who are working, and we create every single object of destruction of self. you know. So now coming to the so the Shri Kshinayusha Kshina Satwan Durmedan Vikshya Kalata Vedan Brahmarshayo Vyasan Hidi Sthachita Cha Udita. Okay, this is the Sanskrit shloka. Means Kshina Ayusha, our lifespan is small. Kshina Satwan, our strength is small. Durmedhan, we have our intelligence is less. Our Meda means buddhi. Buddhi is less. Viksha, these are the qualities that we are having according to all this I said common information. Now, so in this age, abhintare Brahman Bhagwan Lok Bhavana ब्रह्म ब्रह्मेशाद्य लोकपतेर याचितो धर्म गुप्तये पराशरात सत्यवतान अंशांश कलया विभु अवतीर्णो महाभागा vedam chakre chaturvidam. So the specific words are uh, uh, lok bhavana. Lok bhavana, which is lok bhavana means bhagalok bhavana brahmesh shadyer lokapater. So Brahma, Isha is Shiva, Adya, and other Devata. These are called Lokapati, or the rulers of various lokas, of not planets. Loka means griha, or residences. Yachito Dharma Guptaye, for the benefit or for the protection. Guptaye means protection of Dharma principles. And they asked Parashar Munis and they prayed for it. So the Hari or Vishnu came in his, it is said, Amshamsha Kalaya Vibhu, means the Amsha, very plenary portion, or Kalaya, means this is again for Amsha or Kala. Words are used for Vishnu when he comes down. So if a fragment of the power of the Vishnu, he appeared to in the womb of Satyavati through Parashar Muni. And we all know who is that person, Krishna Dwaipayan Vyas. Vedam Chakre Chaturvidam. And he divided one Veda into four parts equally. Okay, and this is again common information. You can check it out in Mahabharata, you can check it out in other places. And in Mahabharata, there is a direct references where Vyasdev is sitting with all these four disciples, along with his fifth son who joins him little later. It's called Shukadev, where he told Shukadev is his son, where he told all these principles of dharma. So he divided the one mantra of an entire Veda into four parts. It says Rit, you to Rig Atharva Yaju Samnam. Rig Atharva Yaju Samnam, like all four of them at the same time. Okay. Rashir Udritya Vargasha. Chatasra Samhitas Chakre Mantrer Mani Ganaiva. So just like the pearls, like when you take a big pile of pearls, divide into four parts, he took one Veda, all the pearls and the wisdom of the four Veda, example is given. And don't consider literally. Like some people say, "Oh, moti ke jaisa, like it is looking like a pearl, may not be something." This is not allegorical. Just giving a nice example, because alankrit bhasha. This is a beautiful. This is the nice way of communicating. We are talking with gentlemen. We are talking with nice people. So the great rishis always use very good language, and it appeals to our intellect. So, so again, I'll read. Rig Atharva Yaju Samnam Rashir Udritya Vargasha. Many places in my books I've quoted these words, including some articles on Sattology.com. You can check it out. Chatasra Samitas Chakre Mantrer Mani Ganaiva. So all these four big pile of wisdoms of Veda were divided into four parts at the same time. So if anyone says, who knows, nobody knows, all this all, and there is a direct reference of Bhagwan Vyasdev sitting. I will call him Bhagwan because we just heard that it is Amshakala. So he is sitting in the eastern part of Himalaya. I know exactly the place also where he is sitting. And where he is sitting with his four disciples, and then Shukdev Goswami joins him over there, eastern part of the Himalaya. So not only the western part of Himalaya is important, where Kailash is there, eastern part of Himalaya is also important. Kailash is, by the way, not in the Himalaya; it's above the Gandhamadhan mountains. So, or on parallel to the Gandhamadhan mountains. Okay. So it is, you have to be very specific in the geography also. So that's how you understand these places, and you will have more faith where it is written. And then he had very and there is a very beautiful story in Mahabharata where these four disciples, all the five disciples, he said that they asked Vyasdev that this knowledge may not be available directly through anyone else. So Vyasdev says, if you accept people without qualification, it will ruin you. So that's why Shishya Parampara is extremely important. You cannot go to the Brahman or Bhagwan directly. You have to go through the process because there is a bigger chance of misuse. We have seen so many misuse examples. Ravan was one example, misused the same knowledge. There's so many other people right now misusing this information. People who have no information, who have no not connected in Brahmada Sampradaya, no faith on their guru, not understanding how the guru kripa works. You know, tasam sa chatur shishyanupamayu mahi mahamati eke kam samhita brahma ne kaisme dadao vibhu. So now he gave to his four disciples, and he gave them four samhita which he had divided. Means Vyasadev already knew, but he divided and gave it to all of them. So now it's their responsibility along with the instructions. So they did not create it. They are just working on the division given to them. And their job is to perform yoga, and with the yoga experience to expand it for others much more detail. Doesn't mean they're adding. The Vedas, Vyasadev has given them Veda, divided them. Now they're researching on those topics and writing as per what they are getting approved, what they're understanding properly along with their guru, because Vyasadev is monitoring them also. And so the first Samhita, so very clearly, Pelaya Samhita Madhyam Bahut Brahit Shakyam Uvachah Vaishampayana Sangyaya Nigadakyam Yajurgadam Samnam Jaiminaya Praha Tatha Chandog Samhitam Atharvang Ingarisi Nama Sashishyaya Samuntave. You know, so Atharvaved was given to Sumanta, okay, and which is called Angirasi. So and the Chandoga Samhita was given to Jaimini, which is Samaveda, and Nigada, which is the name of the mantra or Yajur mantra, was given to Vaishampayan. And the fourth one, the first one, people will, I started in the reverse purposely to say, people say Rig Veda is the oldest. All four are equally together and they're dependent. So you'll find the Rig Veda references. If you don't understand, you have to take it from Sam Veda references. If you don't understand the Atharvaveda mantra, they're not exclusively complete in themselves, because all four Veda are one. So all of them are dependent, and they all of them be learning at the same time. So all the disciples got all the information completely of all the four Veda, but they were interested on their specific sections to expand based on their knowledge, their understanding. So all four of them are not competing. They are under the same guru, sitting at the same time, learning at the same time, along with Shukdev Goswami, the the son of Vyasdev. Okay, so all of them sitting same time, and the Rig Veda was given to Paila. So I started in the reverse. Again, I'll repeat: Athar Ved to Sumantu, the Chandog Samhita, which was going to Jaimini, which is Samaveda, and Nigada mantra to or which is called Yajur Veda mantra, Yajur mantra to Vashampayan, and Bhavricha, which was given to Paila, which is called Rig Veda right now. So these are the four divisions to four disciples at the same time, and there are specific reference. I was searching where the specific references where all these disciples are coming, and by the Guru Kripa, I got the information. Eastern Himalaya, they're sitting and they are learning at the same time. There's a reference sitting together. So people say one came before. I have references to, and I can only know what is written down. Believe me, I don't have any yoga siddhi, nothing. I can only look at the information which is visible to me, and it is written down. So that's what the purpose of Veda is also since it is written down, then it is easier for us to follow. It's the purpose of Kali Yuga. And then after that, uh, the Paila Rishi on the Rig Veda side gives it to divides in two parts, gives it to Indra Pramiti Bashkal. Bashkal again divides it into four parts and gives it to Bodhya, Yagyavalka, Parashar, Agnimitra. And Indra Pramiti, now very, I'm giving you this information, and Indra Pramiti, it taught the same part of the Rig Veda to Mandukya Rishi, and later on his disciple Devamitra gave the Rig Veda to Saubhari and others. This is this is the history, and the excuse me, Mandukya, Jai Jagannath, Mandukya gave to Shakalya, and Shakalya divided into five, gives it to Vatsya, Mugdala, Shaliya, Gokhalya, Shishira. Okay, and then the Jatukarna was a disciple of Shakalya. He gives it to divided into three parts, and he also added the Veda Sutra, a glossary of terms for all the four combined, and then he gave it to different four disciples called Balaka, and there was again another Paila Rishi, and then Jabala Rishi, Jabalpur, you all know that place. Viraja, so Java is a very famous cities of India also where they are there. So from Himalayas they are going all the way down to different parts of the India also. And then Valkilya Samhita was done by Baskali, and which has all the collection of all the different branches of all the previous guru. Again, disciplic successions, parampara system, and this was received by Valayani, Bhajya, and Kashara, great sages. Even today, there are many places named after them, and most of these places are in Madhya Pradesh and Karnataka today. So I can show you where those places are in a Google Earth map sometime in the future show, not today's show. So this is the Rig Veda, and these people, they were completely free from all types of papa kritya. They were saintly people. They're yogis and scientists. They had no desire for personal popularity. They just did it for the service of their guru, to please Vyasdev. This is called Vyas Gaddi. They're sitting to please Vyasdev, not to claim like nowadays people know a little bit and just go on to the show. And believe me, I am just doing it as a seva to my guru. I am not trying to say that I am the most knowledgeable person, or trying to be prove myself to any of you. Okay, I'm just doing it. This question has been asked so many times, and when I see some ignorant people coming on the popular ignorant people coming and saying that Vedas have no basis, so I'm just doing it for the purpose of educating anyone who watches this show, and you can understand. I'm not doing it for my personal popularity. I'm just doing it for as a seva. Okay. So now these were maintained in the disciplic succession, parampara system, and and they were done for a purpose of higher purpose, which is to free a human being from the cycle of janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukh doshanudarshanam, free a person from karma cycle. Now the Vaishampayan. Now Vaishampayan is very famous. Vaishampayan is the guru of Yajurveda. Vaishampayan is the one who spoke Mahabharata to Janmajaya, and Vaishampayan is also the person who takes a leadership role amongst the five disciples of Vyasdev. He is the one who takes the leadership role. And Vaishampayan is also the person who is part of different Pancharatra, which is written also. So I'll cover that in detail. Now, so Vaishampayan, even though he is the person given Yajurveda, but his disciples were authorities in Atharva Veda. So people who say these are not competing arms, like I was said before also, all the four disciples were cooperating like brothers. They were mutually dependent on each other. They were living in a brahmachari ashram together, and later on they became grahastha, all of them, and they were completely friends. Their disciples were friends also. They were. It was not like my disciple will not learn Sam Veda, my disciple will not learn Rajur Veda. Nothing like that. Okay, so disciples of Vaishampayan were expert in Atharva Veda, and those people are known as Charaka because they executed amazing service to their guru, and we all know what happened over there. So, and then one of the disciples of Yajnavalkya is disciple of Vaishampayan, and he was little bit rebellious, and he wanted to do tapasya independently. And then and Vaishampayan, see, understand one thing. You have to understand there are many politicians nowadays says, I will shrap denunga, shrap, I'll curse you. Curse actually doesn't mean shrap. Shrap is for the benefit. Means even you will see most of the shrap given by great sages actually uplift a person for a higher purpose. So there is no, ये curse नहीं है. It's not a curse. English is a very funny language. So I'm speaking in English because many of you speak English, and some of you speak Hindi. I'll do the same show in Hindi next week for you, and then I'll do specifically in Hindi also, so you understand what I'm talking. And then Vaishampayan said, you can go from here. So Yajnavalkya, who was son of Devarata, I already read the name Devarata before, and he vomited the mantra. He took out the mantra of Yajurveda. Now the English words are very funny, but Sanskrit words are different. Devarata sutta sopi chaditva yajusham ganam tato yato at punyate dadrish shustana prajurganan. Means he took it out from his mouth. They became Tetitriya Upanishad. Okay, and the disciples of Yajnavalkya took them, and these are known as the most beautiful Tetitriya Upanishad. So a shrab became a benefit for us, and which is Tetitriya. Tititriya, a lot of people refer to the Tetitriya Upanishad. And then he wanted to search for other Yajurveda mantra which was unknown to his own guru. So he again worshipped evam parampara prapta evam rajarshi vidu. So again evam vyavasthite yoga proktavan aham avyayam. Vishnu says, Bhagavan Krishna says that I spoke this to Vivaswan. So again went back to Vivaswan. Vivaswan is worshipped by everybody. He's a Surya Dev. He's worshipped by everybody. So Vivaswan, he went to Vivaswan again, and the Vivaswan, and because Surya Dev is present everywhere, and he is serving, it's also known as Surya Narayan because he maintains life on this earth. And then so then so very beautiful story, beautiful aspect is there. So Om Namo Bhagavate Aditya Khila Jagatam Atma Swarupena Kala Swarupena Chaturvida Bhuta Nikayanam Brahmadi. Beautiful prayer to Surya Bhagavan. Stamba Paryantam Antara Hridayeshu Bhairapi Chakasha Jo Bidana Sa Ramano Bhavan Ekasa क्षण लव निमेशा व्युवपचित संवत्सर गणेरापनम आदान विसर्गाभ्याम imam lok yatram anuvahati. Now, entire, if you look at very carefully, listen to the words is shana, lava, nimesh, like the completely who decides the time. Okay. Now, he does that. Now, he prayed to him, and then Suryadev was very happy. And then Suryadev became in the form of a high. He gave the other Vedic mantra which he had heard from Brahma, which were not unknown in the human society before unknown. Again, a shrab becomes a benediction. We are still on the Rig Veda right now. We're not gone to other Veda. All four Vedas are equally important. They're all connected. Like I said before, all the disciples are together. And then Suryadev, he gave these new branches of Yajurveda, and 15 new branches were created by Yajnavalkya. They are known as Vajasayani Samhita because Suryadev had appeared in the form of a horse. And his followers were Karnava, very famous name, Madhyandina, and other rishis. These rishis' names, just because you're hearing these names, purify you. And then the Jaimini Rishi, who was doing the Samaveda, he has a son named Sumantu, and the Sumantu son was Sutwan, and then he spoke different Samaveda Samhita. Imagine all these disciples, great grand disciples and disciples are all collaborating. Nobody is competing. There is no vitanda. There is collaboration. There is no one fighting. Like today's leaders, they show that okay, everyone is competing. No competition here. No competition. Whose disciple, who doesn't even matter. Complete teamwork. Okay, so people don't even fall into that propaganda. Why I'm saying this is that because today nowadays people say mythological propagandists, they say, oh, there is everyone is different, everyone has their own. No, there is no one viewpoint. There's only one viewpoint of the Veda. No fight amongst the rishis. Politicians fight. Spiritual people don't fight. Yogis don't fight. I'm talking about genuine people. Don't fight. They collaborate. They cooperate. Okay. There is no fighting here anywhere. Differences are accepted, and people focus on their journey in yoga. There's a higher purpose to everything. So now Jaimini Rishi gives it to Sumantu, then Sukarma was another disciple of Jaimini. He divided the Samaveda into 1000 Samhita. And the three disciples of Sukarma, Hiranyab, which is son of Kushala, very famous person. Paushanji, I've mentioned that in my book, Paushanji, read it. Avantya, they took charge of Samaveda mantra. What did Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? He says, amongst the Veda, I am Samaveda. He says, his favorite. So it doesn't mean that everything is favorite, but Samaveda is one of the most beautiful composition. You can sing it. Any one Veda you read, you will get information from all other Veda also. Because they are written given by the same person, the students taught under the same teacher, they learned all the Veda together, but they were given responsibility of one section, like departmental heads. And so therefore you can read any Veda, you will find a lot of information, but sometimes you have to cross refer Rig Veda information from Sam Veda information, or Yajur Veda information from Rig Veda information, because one Veda was divided into 4 different streams. Again, this is too big, and I'll come to the solution also for that. And then there were 500 disciples of Paushanji. That's why I said Paushanji is a very important name. And Avantya was the northern singer of Samaveda. And later times, some of them also become Eastern singers. You'll see a very different type of singing styles of the Sam, because Samaveda is can be sung, it's like a musical composition, just like Ramayana is. Ramayana you can sing, shlokabad. So Logakshi, Mangali, Kulya, Kushida, Kukshi, they are all received 100 Samhita each. Okay. And then Kuta, which is a disciple of Hiranyab, spoke 24 Samhita to his own disciples, and there were other passed on by the Avanti Rishi. Avanti Rishi is Avanti. All these names, all these places are still there. The names have not even changed. So therefore, I fully support the different governments who are going back to their ancient rishi names to their places. You know. Coming to Atharvaveda, Atharvaveda, Atharva, like I said, Bhagwan Ram's Putreshti Yagya by Rishi Shringa was done by using Atharvaved mantra. So even Treta Yuga, these mantras were there. Same mantra, because memories are very sharp at that time. And then, but right now it is written down in Dwapar Yuga. Written down, I already explained. Then every Dwapar Yuga, they're written down for us. So now we have Atharva Veda, which is taught by Sumantu Rishi to his disciple Kabanda, which he spoke to Patya Veda Darsha. Okay. And then Shaklayani, Brahmali, Madosha, Pipalayani were the disciples of Veda Darsha. There were two disciples Kabanda had. You know, Kabanda had two disciples. Kabanda is a disciple of Sumantu Rishi. And they are all assembled to listen Mahabharat by Vaishampayan to Janmajay. All of them are sitting there. These names you'll find over there too, sitting there. And Vyasdev himself is listening over there. So verifying, because that is the purpose of a guru, is verify. You know, nowadays we see just looking at YouTube channels, you can learn. Believe me, I'm just giving you information. If you want to follow spiritual path or yoga path, please connect to a guru. I'm not a guru. So please do that. I'm just doing a seva to my guru. So you don't have to ask me deeper questions, because sometimes I may not be qualified to answer you also. Okay. So now, but because being a Dikshit disciple, I can speak on all these topics and I've learned it also. So then there are disciples of Patya, which is important. We already heard Veda Darsha. Veda Darsha has four disciples: Shuklaini, Brahmali, Madosha, Pupalayani. And these are from my notes I'm reading. And then the disciples of Patya are Kumuda, Shunaka, Jajali. We all know Jajali Rishi. Many of these names you'll know very well. Many cities are named after them, these people. That's how great Bharat is. Bharat is a great country because these rishis are there. And I'm talking about under the Himalayan belt, right from Pamir North to eastern Himalaya, which ends in Meghalaya, to the entire range we are talking about. Arunachal Pradesh goes, it curves south. It curves India from south like this, on the east like this, and on the west like this. So under that, every region is Bharat. In fact, so therefore, this is a large area we are talking about. Large area. Samudra Paryanta means if you draw the lines in parallel to Meru Parvat to Lanka line, then huge area. That's how you calculate the Bharat Varsh. Bharat Varsh above before there is Himavanta. Before that is Hari Varsh. Before that is Meru Varsh. We already discussed in many of the videos also. So Babru, Send Sendavayana, and Shunaka are disciples of Shunaka. And then they studied for Atharveda. So and then Sandhavanya Sendhavayana's son is Suvarna. And because I write in Devanagari, so I have to read properly. So forgive me for that. Uh, so in and then they also studied these ones, and the Atharvaveda acharyas are Nakshatrakalpa, Shantikalpa, Kashyapa, Angirasa. These are all Veda acharyas. So it doesn't mean if they're focusing on one, they forgot the others. You know. So this is the history of the four Veda. If you have any questions, you can type it over there, and then you will get a lot of information from there. You know? So I see a lot of questions here coming here with there. I'll cover some of these questions towards the end, and so you will get a full information on this, and you can refer to this show again and again. Now, Purana, coming to Purana, you know, Trayaruni, Kashyap, Savarni, Akritavarna, Vaishampayan again, and Harita. And this information is given by Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami is one of the five original students sitting for learning Veda under Ved Vyas. We already discussed the four Shukadev, given by four, because the Shukadev was considered Brahma Moksha, like he had already was considered the on an equal level uh, as Vyasdev. Vyasdev, because we know Vyasdev, he worships Mahadev to seek his blessings for his son as illustrious as him. And so Shukdev Goswami is the same person whose Upavit Samskar, the first Samskar, was done by Mahadev himself. He had all the blessings. And he's the one who never who who attained Brahma, actually Surya Graha, at the age before most of the people become adults. So he was already kind of Brahma Mukta or Moksha Prapt son of Vyasdev. Very special. And and then he comes back. Actually, he comes back. I will put that in my new book. He comes back to speak Bhagavad Puran to Parikshit because that was the will of Krishna. So he's a very very elaborate. He's the one who is telling this information in all the Purana. This is a common information. I have studied, like I have in my house. I have all the 18 Puran now, and then I've studied all the references I was collecting yesterday night, and same names everywhere, same name, no change. So it is Trayaruni, Kashyap, Savarni, Kritavarna, Vaishampayan, Harito, Harit. Okay, so people who say nobody knows, and believe me, the fact is the Puran and Itihas are always written down. Only Ved were given through disciplic succession or parampara system, but later on they were also written down for our purpose. That's how we get information. Because if these were not written down, you and me in Kali Yuga won't be discussing it because our memories are not sharp. I forget basic shloka which I can recite any point of the day, but sometimes I forget it in the live show. And then each one of them studied six Purana from my father. So what it becomes? Six disciples, six each means how many? 36. Okay. Now, Suta Goswami is the disciple of Shukadev Goswami. Suta Goswami's father is Romaharshan. Romaharshan was a Shishya of Vyasadev. And Suta Goswami became a disciple of these six people. Suta Goswami is known for Purana. Trayaruni, Kashyap, Savani, Akritavarna, Vaishampayan, Harita. Okay. Romaharshan is the same person who was also given punishment by Balram. You all know the story. I will not touch that story today. And he divided the Puran into four basic compilations. Okay. So Kashyap, Suta, Savarni, Akritavarna, which is a disciple of Rama, were writing down. This Ram is the same person which is also known as Savarni. Okay. So now this is the history of the Purana. So anyone who says nobody knows who wrote them, I've given you the name now. Okay, you can talk to them if they need some education. First, they have to leave their nonsense and accept a bona fide guru. And the third is, and Puranas are extremely important. Many of the Vedic researchers they ignore Purana, but I can tell you, you will not understand Veda without Purana. You cannot understand. And most of the Purana stories have deep wisdoms in them. What are the topics covered in the Purana? I'll read you the shloka. What are covered? Sargosthyaya visargascha vritti chantarani. So sarga means creation, visarga means secondary creation, vritti means how it is maintained, raksha means protection, you know, antarani, what is the region of the different planetary lokapal, and Vamsha, which is the dynasties. These are important. Vamsha Anucharitam, the activities of Vamsha, because without understanding these things, you won't understand the context of it. Like yesterday, I was in a show with Nilesh, and I had tweeted something, and then he said, "Where is the context? What is the context?" So that's a very valid question. What is the context? You know, if I was in a very pride mood, I will say, "Oh, how can you ask me questions?" No, but we are all seekers. In the yoga world, there is only cooperation, no fighting. no arguments. We seek, okay, if I don't know something, I'm going to ask. I'm not going to say, oh, I have know everything, I can, how can you question me? That is a sign of an ignorant man, and after that you cannot talk to such people, because they're just arrogant. They no guru kripa. So, but in the parampara system, there is a cooperation, there is a culture of respecting everybody's progress. If you progress more than me, I'm the happiest person. If you become better than me, I'll be happiest person, because that's what it is meant for. It's meant for cooperation. It is meant for not to show that I know more than you. That's not the purpose. The purpose is, if you get helped, you help me out again. You can correct me that this is what we can do, but in a different way. Like I approach my senior spiritual people with humility. Sometimes I'm very harsh with some people because they are not proper, but other people I'm submissive because I can learn from them something. And then dashabi, these are the 10 qualities. Samstha, which is annihilation. Vanchanucharitam, hetu, what is the purpose? If you don't know the purpose, why you're reading it? The purpose is only one. Moksha means coming out of the cycle of birth, old age, disease, and death. Apashraya, what is the shelter? Where you should take shelter of? You should not take shelter when you're in a problem. I mean, you should take shelter when you're in a problem, but you should take shelter when you're happy, because that's the right time to take shelter on. Otherwise, you'll make the same mistake again and again. Punash punash charati charvananam. Again, chewing the chewed. Everything what you're experiencing has been experienced before, and everyone has tried to lord over or to control this world. Everyone has failed. Nobody is there who tried. Okay, the buildings are remaining. That too, also people neglect them after some time. Mahad alpa vyavasvata. And then panchavid, the five activities. The so these are the Purana, all the different Vanchavali, the kings, all these things are mentioned here. Okay, so now after that, the so yeah, so then Savarni Akrita Varma, which is Ram, and then 10 topics are there of Puran, which I already mentioned, and the secondary creation is done by the people here. That is a principal creation. And then what is also mentioned, Mahatattva. From Mahatattva comes Ahankar. Ahankar is into three types, which becomes Satagun, Rajagun, Tamagun. And the 17th chapter of Gita, 16th chapter, 17th chapter, you can read, 13th, 14th, these chapters you should read of Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is one place where all this information is summarized very beautifully by the person who is the source of everything. Okay, Bhagavan says, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Ite chamsha kalapam sa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Indrari vyakaram lokam vritinti yuge yuge. Traigunya Vishya Veda Nisragunya Bhavarjuna. This is the three good. The world secondary creation is called the three good. The creation of the world is most beautifully described only in one place, and that is the Veda. There is nowhere else it is described. It, in fact, nowhere else described. Vritti is being created. Now, Vrittir Bhutani Bhutanam Charanam Charanani cha. Krita Swena Nidam Natra Kama Chodana Yapiva. Means the Vritti Bhutani, because the world is working on Vritti, and because of Vritti, the secondary creation happens. That means you and I have the freedom to create. That's why we create buildings, we create cities, we create airplanes, we create other things using our Vritti, because it is everyone wants to be, that freedom is given to us. Okay, we don't deserve it sometimes, but given to us. Therefore nobody interferes. And in every age, every millennium, every yuga, millennium is a wrong word, every yuga, raksha chut avatareha, means for protection. Achyuta avatar. Achyut means Vishnu. Vishwasyanu yuge yuge. In this world comes every yuga. You know, Tiryan martirshi deveshu hanyante yes dvisha. He comes again and again into all types of, whether it comes as animals or human beings, sages. We see Hiranya Bhagwan Haigriva, we see Bhagwan Narsingha, like different the lion. Haigriva means horse form he comes. Kurma, Matsya, in different living forms he is coming. And many other different, and humans also. He comes as Bhagwan Ram, he comes. Krishna is not considered human, and therefore he's not counted. Bhagwan Ram is Ardha Manushya. And then he comes, and Devatas. He comes as Devatas, Rishis, Devarshi Narad, and Devatas he comes. We all know Mahadev. And then to defeat, to what? Hanyante, yes, trai divishu, divisha. To protect the universe and to destroy the people who are working against dharma. Those people are called avatar. Many types of avatar are there. We can join the course to understand more about them, because in course we can discuss all these things in detail. So so the and every Manu, because Manu is uh, every Manu is there in every Manvantra. So every Manu, uh, and the ruling Manu, the chief Devta, the main Devta, the sons of Manu, Indra, every Manvantra, everything changes. These things are changes. And most of the dynasties you see, they are the kings originating with Brahma, and then through past, present, and future, and all these information is called Vanchavali, which is also considered Purana. Therefore, Puranas are extremely important, and they have information about these four yuga, mainly four yuga. Some information is there of previous yuga also, which Markandeya Rishi talks about, because Markandeya Rishi sees all the entire day of Brahma, sometimes 2 or 3 days of Brahma. And then, and the dissolution is extremely important, how the world ends, and which is temporary after every four yuga, then after a little more deeper, which is also defined by that is also present there in Purana. So people who say Purana not important, they are not very intelligent, because they don't understand the Vedic structure, you know so the and then some people, they say, like I said, that 36, six disciples, six each, 36, 36 Purana. So the 18 Purana are considered. So in the, again, this information is also common. Mahadev Puran, Vishnu Puran, these are all common information. Evam Lakshana Lakshyani Puranadi Puravida Munyo Ashtadasha Prahu Chullalkani Mahanti cha. Means there are there are eight major. Shulakani means minor, means the secondary, and Ashtadash means 18. Munya Mahanti. There are 18 main Puraveda, and this is told by all of them. And also I told you that each of the six disciples are given six each. So 36 total. So 18 major, 18 minor is the Puran. And then you can I can always give you the names of these people, place also. It's called Brahma Puran, Padma Puran, Vishnu Puran, Shiv Puran, Linga Puran, Garud Puran, Narad Puran, Bhagavad Puran, and Agni Puran, and Skanda Puran, Bhavishya Puran, and Brahma Vaivarta Puran. These are all the Puran which are mentioned over there. And then Markandeya Rishi, Markandeya Puran, Vaman Puran, Vara Puran, Matsya Puran, Kurma Puran, Brahmanda Puran, 18 major. And then we can see that these are the different acharyas and different Veda. And then after that, there is a separate prayer of Markandeya Rishi. Markandeya Rishi is praying to the Indra, to the is Markandeya Rishi is praying to Nar Narayan Rishi. Sorry, Nar Narayan Rishi. And then all these things happens over there. So different types of information comes out from different rishis, conversations, different conversations happens. And the Brahma is the for the entire duration. All Even Brahma has a fear of passage of time. Okay, so not just you, even Brahma has that fear. So Brahma is always engaged in yoga, himself. Yoga means meditating on Vishnu, and so that he can be come out of the when it this world ends, then he can come out of this cycle. So now all these different Puranas are important. Now some of you asked me the question of Upanishad. Now various discussions by different sages, 108 Upanishads are there, are compiled into instruction format. So one of the Upanishad, the most popular Upanishad in the world is Gita Upanishad. And then Uddhav Gita is also considered Upanishad. There are 108 Upanishad, but different sages, Markandeya Rishi, Maitreya Rishi, Vidura, and there are different conversations having different sages, which are all called Upanishad. Upanishad means somebody who sits in front, Upanishad, and listens. Again, Upanishad means Guru and Shishya. Somebody is a Guru, somebody is Shishya. Okay? If you are not a good Shishya, you cannot be a good Guru. Just understand that. So Brahma Puran has 10,000 verses. So there are total 400,000 verses in Puran, out of which 18,000. So Brahma Puran has 10,000, Padma Puran has 50,000, Shri Vishnu Puran 23,000, Shiv Puran 24,000, Bhagavatam is 18,000, Narad Puran 5,000, Markandeya Puran has 9,000, Agni Puran has 15,000. Bhavishya Puran 14,500, Brahma Vaivarta Puran has 18,000, Linga Puran say 11,000. Vara Puran consists of 24,000, Skanda Puran is 81,100, Vaman Puran has 10,000, Kurma Puran has 17,000, Matsya Puran 14,000, Garud Puran has 19,000, and Brahmanda Puran has 12,000. Total is 400,000. So just understand, this is a history, big, very big history. Hmm? So, so this is the, and some people, most of the acharyas, they comment on Bhagavad Puran because it's written by Shukdev Goswami. Shukdev Goswami is considered at an equal level as Vyasadeva by Mahadev. So, and by Vishnu. So therefore, but Shukdev Goswami doesn't feel that way. Shukdev Goswami thinks of his father as his guru, and sometimes he is strong. He says, tells the Apsaras that Dhritachi says, another Apsara, he says, don't tell my father where I am going. He says that also. So this was the, I think, much more detailed information I gave today, and you, uh, uh, and I'll take some good questions, and do actually join us, become our member, help us in organizing various events. Our book show is coming in. If you are from the US, help us in raising funds as well as in there for organizing the Lit Fest, Krishna Lit Fest. The name is Krishna Lit Fest, so that all the asuras are out. So we just focus on our thing. The question is, I'll take the relevant questions. There is a general misconception Harappa is older than Vedic civilization. Sujita Upadhyay. So those of you who are not become the members of our YouTube channel, do become now. Or if you want to support us on Patreon, do that. The links are down there, and you can also become part of it. And most important is, get my books. I've written most of these details there, and also join our Sattology courses. If you want to become a yogi, because this uh, or a debunking mythology on a course, that those courses are extremely important. If you don't understand the basics, you won't understand the advance. So Suchita Upadhyay ji bol rahi hai, puch rahi hai, hello sir, there is a general misconception in India that Harappa, there are a lot of misconceptions in India. Okay, Vedic Harappa civilization is a Vedic civilization, and it is the work of the Indian universities. But Indian universities don't do anything original; they are copycats. Sir ji, हमको क्या पुराण? What is this question? Is हमको क्या पुराण पढ़ना चाहिए? Anyone who like, but if you want to read Bhagavad Puran if you can. It will be good. Shukdev Goswami has spoken it. पुराण किसके लिए, किसने लिखा है? Like, again, this question has been answered. Okay, so it is not fake, it's real. And Soumya Pradhan, Jai Jagannath, thank you. Madage Don Roshan has very educated videos from Sri Lanka. Thank you very much. Keep watching, become a member, and I'm very grateful that you're enjoying it from Sri Lanka. Why different Puran, different periods, same event? No, they don't have. Everyone has additional detail, not a different detail. And you need to have a proper training to understand that misconceptions are not there. And also they are written when some things are missed out in certain ones, it is told in another one. Like I just told you about Shukdev Goswami's marriage is written in Mahadev Puran, but marriage is not written in the Mahabharata. So which version is right? It's not the question of which version is right or wrong, because if you read carefully, then you'll see that he was not married. So again, Guru Kripa is needed. And without parampara, you won't understand it. If you want to learn academically on from the Google and from just shows, you won't understand. You have to take shelter. And then Tanvir Sharma, thank you. Uh, Srinivas Rao, thank you. Jai Shri Ram, Sacha Insan. I don't know who is Sacha Insan. Uh, Vedas said so. So don't quote other people what the other people say. Sandeep ji is a very respected person, and he is speaking from his understanding. But according to me, what he has said is easier. Like what he means is that reading Puran or Mahabharata gives you full information about Veda. Mahabharata has all Puran, all Upanishad, all Veda combined into one. So if you read Mahabharata, you'll understand all the Veda easily. So Katha, you understand from Katha. You like Katha. What are the different types of deaths, which is such an insan is asking? Okay, a lot of types of death is there, but one is Uttarayan, one is Dakshinayan. So one goes towards Devaloka, one goes towards south. And akal mrityu means accident or something happened. Your total lifespan was 100 years, but you died at 30. That is akal mrityu. From where I can take Nam Diksha? First, you become sincere. You'll get Guru by Paramatma's desire. Harsh Patel, sir, how old is Upanishad? This question is the most foolish question, Harsh Patel. How old is Upanishad? And because I just told you, when Vedas are written and Puranas are written, they are as old as Vedas and Purana because they are part of the Veda and Purana. Okay. So again, I explained to you. So just asking question is not important. You need to follow it. When you follow it, you can always you can take shelter of your guru and learn from him, wherever guru you like. Can I keep Bhagwan Murti Sacha Insan? Yes, you can do that. Then I will take Epic, speak Hindi too, and speak English too. There's some people don't understand. And then we have uh, I don't take political comments, so please don't ask me any such questions. There are a lot of channels you can watch for political things. A lot of channels are there. Aditya ji, pranam. Please tell me how yam niyam can be followed for yoga. I don't know any guru who can teach me on this. I'm willing to learn from Sundaranand ji, but he is not anymore. You can read my book, Transcending the Mind, first. And then in that book, I have translated the Patanjali Yoga Sutra and given commentary from the Gita and Bhagavad Puran perspective, because in America, there was a big strategy by the Asuras to de-link Patanjali Yoga Sutra from Bhagavad Gita. Yogeshwar is the god of yogis, Bhagavan Krishna. So uh, you can learn in my book. I have detailed references to that, Yam Niyam, but these are again not theoretical topics. You need to practice it. So the easiest way is start with Harinam and practice. Harinam will help you attain the approach a guru also. And like I said, I don't give diksha. I'm a disciple, but I don't give diksha. So approach a person who can give. I can only give you shiksha. Then we have this thing. So I think we are running out of questions now. There is no more questions. And if anyone has any questions, we are above the. Your questions will never. So first you practice it. Hindi mein hona tha ye. Again, the English people also want to hear. There are a lot of people from Sri Lanka and other countries, they don't understand Hindi. So you have to be, I'll do Hindi also, but then in Hindi, there are a lot of other shows. We'll do next week in Hindi on the same channel, same information. We'll do that. Okay. And then there's one good question is there. Again, who is such an insan? Brahma Devta feel the time passage like us. Yes. Triguna. All the Devtas are under Triguna. They also feel that. Brahma is also worried of his lifespan decreasing. So, Bhagavan Krishna says, "A Brahma Bhuna Loka Punaravartin Arjuna." So even from Brahma Loka you come down. So Mrityu Lok, this is a Mrityu Lok where repeated death happens in a short span of time. So this is a very glorious place, especially the land of today's India is very glorious, where Ganga is there, Yamuna is there, and where you can attain mukti very easily. And in the West, when we are living here, we are thinking about those places and doing our seva here of prachar. We are telling others about the Vedic knowledge, and so that they can get connected and they can also make a solution. So we are doing the ultimate charity work sitting in USA. So and then you have Shri Krishna ne khanda वन को पूरी तरह क्यों जलाया सबको क्यों मारा. That was a need because Agni Dev Ahuti had to be done, and also the Maya, the friend of Indra, was staying there. So that was done to remove because Agni had become very weak, and he had requested. Agni is also a bhakta of Krishna, so he's doing a seva to his bhakt, and those animals were or plants or anyone was there was destined to be done like that. And when Krishna is doing that, then all of them got a very good future also. So things have to be seen on a much bigger universal scale than a small scale. So thank you very much for joining today. I hope you all can subscribe, become a member of the channel, and let us know your feedback so that we can also improve ourselves future, and and then we can make world a better place. And believe me, this whole world is not ours, belongs to Isha Vasyamidam Sarvam Yatkinchit Jagatyan Jagat Tena Tektena Bhunjita Magrida Kasisudanam. Okay, so this world belongs to Ishwar, and that's what we are serving. So people who are uh, short, lagu, the people who think small, they only focus on themselves. People who think big think about the whole humanity. And the only platform of peace in the world is yoga, nothing else. So thank you all for joining. Do subscribe. Do let us know your feedback. Do join on the Lit Fest, and also support us in a big way all over the country. Namaste.